Welcome back, everybody. Everyone needs an Aquarius. We're back in the building. Dom, what is going on?
Live, but it's more like the video of them on the Time Joyner show, morning show. He's slipping away from me.
Not the jail one.
Yo, it's so funny because I actually ended up watching that full segment not too long ago, and there's so many more iconic moments than the time is slipping away from me. So many more iconic moments.
In that song?
In that performance.
Oh, it's a lot going on.
It's a lot happening.
Y'all got to remember, Casey and JoJo both were not sober individuals at that time either, though. They both got themselves together and everything now, but
yes, which is fine.
Yeah,
but it was a lot happening, and I was like, "Yo, I know that's the part that we focus on, but there are other parts that are greater. But and it's not that time is slipping away. I mean, it's slipping away from all of us, but it's just been a hell of a. It's just been a hell of a. I don't even know what to call this, but it's like the devil trying to steal my joy, and I can't let it happen.
Right.
That's the best. That's all I got.
Man, I want to give a big ups to my daughter, Xander Asada Frierson, 13 and under, champion of the Gateway Memorial Soccer Classic. Man, I'm proud of her. She got the big old medal, like she got a gold medal. They got a cup they took back for they club. It was awesome to see her, you know.
And Xander's still walking around, y'all, like she don't care.
Don't look. She won't even talk. It's like Fight Club to her. You can't talk about soccer at all with her, period. Like you'll be like, "Yo, Xander, what you?" Nope, don't even want to talk about it.
Nope. Yep. That's not like Xander. Yep.
Don't even talk about it. You could literally have just saw her play and she's like, "I don't want to talk about it."
Yep.
Like I have to force her. I'd be like, "So what did coach say about nothing?" I'm like, "You was over there 15 minutes after the game. Your coach didn't say nothing." No. But I'm proud of her, man. We're
proud of you, boo boo.
Yeah, the 5 games, 3 days, man. They fought it out, man. Won every game. Yeah, it was awesome. It was awesome to see her out there. You know, she was mad at, she didn't want, because I told her at first I was gonna run out there, you know, like like somebody Black Daddy out there. We won the shit. So literally when they won it and they start shit, she literally looks over at me and goes, "Nigga, if your black ass get up out that chair." She just looked at me. She looked back at me and was walking. Like, I'm watching this nigga. I want to go celebrate, but I'm watching this nigga over there.
Oh, that's hilarious.
And I wouldn't do that to her, man. You know, I wouldn't do that. That's her time to shine.
That's hilarious.
But I always make her feel the threat is available just for she want to keep her on her toes.
You a mess. I cannot deal. That's funny. Well, congratulations, little baby. Yeah.
So let's before we even get into it, you have a Chris Brown announcement. You would like
wait a second. Hold on. Speaking of Chris Brown, I want to talk about Ray J real quick because you know we love Ray J over here.
Yep.
So you remember when Ray J said his ideal dream would be for Brandy and Monica to go on tour?
Yes.
Them niggas going on tour.
Is that announced or is that?
It's a thing. Yes, it is officially a thing. And I said, look at Ray J again, predicting the future, making plays. He probably likely was not part of this deal at all.
Not at all. You ain't getting no money.
But you put it out there and look what's happening. Your sister and Monica. And we know they're gonna close the show out. It'll probably be like a back and forth.
Do you think they'll make it through this whole tour? Is the question. I think they're professionals. They're professionals at this point.
They about the bag. They're about the bag.
And they're professionals.
They're making it now. They might not be hanging out, but we know if they do the set list right, if they do it where it's like Monica and Brandy going back and forth, which is how it should be.
Yes.
And then they can close it out with The Boy Is Mine. That'll be the closing song every night. And they perform together.
So it got leaked out. So they don't have all the dates yet.
Yeah, it got leaked out. Someone went on, I think that somebody saw like on Ticketmaster or something. So it had not been announced. It was posted.
So they
And
got,
I was
I
like,
guess,
right, it's real quiet for
yeah.
someone had pitched this idea. And this is what we always talk about too, about being mindful of how you pitch, where you say certain things, because somebody will grab it and snatch it up.
And it's not necessarily stealing it, man. So that's the thing I try to tell people about this energy shit, man. It's sometimes you even maybe get an idea of someone else that says something and they put it out into the atmosphere, and someone else may be thinking it's their new idea. It's just the way energy flows. If like they're in a certain space and they're grabbing at these different, things that these things that are an energy that's out there, and they like, yeah, what about Brady and Mike could go on tour? But that person may not have seen verses or nothing.
Yeah, I mean, it could have been, but I doubt it.
But I think more than likely in this case that somebody saw him say that and had the money and availability to be able to do it, and Ray J didn't have that ability to do that.
Yeah,
and Ray J might, and maybe they don't want to work with Ray J either, because I can see my brand.
I mean, he's too busy gyrating on that RSVP tour.
Yeah, and he's fucking around doing like the Zeus Network side stuff that he's doing. Brandy want to do some real business. And I'm not saying Ray J don't do the real business, but it feels real Funky Finger Productions type of business with him. And I don't think she wants to do with that.
No, I get it.
Yeah.
No, so that's something I want to say. It's like, we talk about Ray J, so I want to put that out there. So the fact that you hadn't heard that yet, yes, it's supposed to be a thing. So, and I think that they even confirmed it from what I could see. Brandy, I follow Monica. So,
okay.
Yeah. What'd you say about Chris Brown?
You had some things to say,
Well, it is not that I had things to say. I know we were gonna touch, base with with Chris Brown getting locked up in Europe, in London or whatever. Mm-hmm. And it's so many things here. It just be nigga shit. Like we talk about Ray J and nigga shit, it's Chris Brown and nigga shit. Because there's no way in hell that you've had a warrant out for your arrest for all these years. And I'm gonna not say all these years, a couple years, for something that happened in a club. You break in, knocking somebody upside the head with a bottle of Don Julio or whatever, where this person still has PTSD, hospital bills, lacerations, all these different things, and you don't show up for your court date, but then you think you can book a show and not be detained upon arrival.
No, it wasn't just the country. He booked it in the same town and he did it in. Not like if he did it in London. Like he probably could have got away if he went to London or Birmingham or Liverpool, but you did it in Manchester and then you booked the show and flew into Manchester. Now the thing is, I was wondering, I think he's messing with some chick over there, because why are you there for a week and a half before your show in London? I mean, in UK, a week and a half, 2 weeks. That means he was messing with some chick there. And you want to go there early. And he thought he could sneak into Manchester to see some woman.
You know what? I wonder if.
Oh, I know how it would be.
No, because was that the first stop? Like, what are the international days like the first stop? Because I could see you going
Manchester, then London.
Okay, because I could almost see you even going early over there, because think of the first show, technical difficulties, you doing the run through all these different things, making sure you're set, everything has arrived, and it
but
gives
that's
you
not your job. That's a road manager's job. You there?
Yeah, I'm saying he would. I could see him being there a little early just to see his trial and error, especially considering everything with this Cowboy Carter tour and seeing errors and things happen and not happen how it's supposed to go.
Oh, it's going bad. I mean, there's a lot of little mishaps.
It's not going bad, but it was just like those first couple of shows for the Cowboy Carter tour. It was stuff like not functioning properly. It was marks, like how they mark the stage where you're supposed to be in certain points for certain things to happen. It was not marked. You can see Beyonce looking for it. One of the things that happened, and it was a lot of, I would kind of say, technical things. And one of the technical things, she could have kind of got knocked out by one of the, and I'll send you the clip of it, but it's this part like on Cozy at the opening, and it's like these it's like these frames, mechanical frames come down and they move and do all of this stuff. And she's like moving with them, but it wasn't marked. So she could have been in the wrong spot. So when they came, she's like trying to feel to see where it was. And you kind of see her move back a little bit so she don't get hit. So yeah. So it's things like that. I could kind of see. And
you're giving Chris Brown a lot of credit for that.
No, I was saying for that. What I'm not gonna give him credit for. I said, see, this is what I mean by karma. And people not understanding how quick karma could come back around. Sometimes people think, oh, it's like, and it might not never come. Well, nigga, you shouldn't have posted free Tory, because the next day, what do you know? You end up in jail. Literally the next day.
Literally the next day.
Literally the next day. And they were gonna hold him out bail because they said he was a flight risk. So they ultimately got him on $5 million. And then he got to appear at that court date. And then the person is suing him, and it's a producer. He's suing him for $16 million. So the money you're gonna make on this tour, you're gonna have to pay that guy.
And they supposedly got it on video.
Mm-hmm.
And they got a dude from Young Money, Hood Baby, too, in this. That's his name, Hood Baby.
Oh, see, I don't know.
That's one of the people that's the person that actually beat him up, supposedly.
I wonder if that's
that hit him with a bottle.
But also, why you hitting people with bottles? What happened?
And he's got pictures. They got pictures right before it, all chilling together, like a couple of nights before. So I'm like, what is going on here? Yeah. And
you didn't have your people, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, people not handling their business properly. But I'm just after that.
Well, your attorney should have known that too. Like, hey, let me go and take care of this and get somebody in London as a lawyer to take care of this. Like, because Chris had to know, like, I got into a fight at the club in Manchester.
He knew that. But see, Chris,
let me have somebody at least look into it and see if they looking for me. Hey, are they looking for me when I come there?
Daryl.
Yes.
To us, that make too much sense. That makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Them niggas don't have sense.
Shit. You asking for a fight in Phoenix, and I live here in the States. I'm gonna be like, man, I don't know about if I get Phoenix though, dog. Last time I was there, I hit somebody here with a bottle at a club. I might not be able to go to Phoenix.
And depending on what they charge you with, they might come and get you.
Yeah, but something like that, they may not come and get me.
No. I'm saying stateside, depending on how bad it is, they may. But I know internationally, which I'm still shocked that, because I thought we had some sort of, nobody died, but
no, I mean,
because it wasn't even like I think that it wasn't like, but also like it wasn't even just like, oh, he's suing him like in the civil court.
No,
it's like criminal. It's criminal. That's what I'm saying. Like it. And then Manchester then sent it to transfer the case to a bigger court.
Oh shit.
Not my business. It was fun while it lasted, Breezy.
Damn, she didn't gave up on CB Breezy.
It was the free Tory thing. Yeah. Like we spoke about here. Hey, y'all can get online and say all this stuff. They doing all this stuff and the court of public opinion and thoughts. But we talk about the kids and resource and the BD classes, the different remedial classes that y'all allowed to perpetuate that incel behavior that a lot of y'all motherfuckers have, and a lot of y'all are undercover. From my experience, my recent lesson, perpetuating these bullshit ideals and thoughts. And like I told my nigga, hey, you can say that it should have been tried a different way just because of your bias, because of how the courts have or have not worked for you. Great. But you know what? I would have been spending that extra money instead of paying blogs to profess your innocence in the court of law. I would have paid it.
I'm Doja. They sleep. Yeah, we part of Just Posted Podcast, man. The best show on this network. Come on, check, though. Seriously, man. Just Posted. It's just me and Doja sitting back talking about what the fuck going on in the world and the streets.
We said labor of love. He said labor of love. I ain't say that shit. Shout out to you know what I'm saying, everybody coming to watch though, man. We really appreciate y'all. Holla at y'all later.
Hey man, this nigga just tall for no reason.
I'm gone.
And he do regular jobs. Don't forget that.
A great attorney, not a good attorney, a great attorney. You gotta take the L. You want to say you free, you didn't do XYZ, like Cat Williams said. Somebody did it. So it's either you or the other girl, and they got you and had enough to get you. Sorry, buddy, I don't feel sorry. And like I said, file the paperwork. You got new evidence, which is hearsay.
We still waiting for that paperwork to be drawn up. I ain't seen no paperwork come up.
They haven't drawn any, even for the appeal.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Like, what is paperwork? Because remember, they was acting like we finna drop it soon, y'all. Trust me.
Those extra, and he wasn't even paying the blogs like that. But that extra $5,000 or $10,000 that you was spreading across all of them probably could have made a break. You know, can make a break. Your attorney was like, man, we need like 15 more. And you out here paying blogs. Talking about he about to get off. Well, did you? No. Found you guilty.
Since we talking about people that be getting off, we gotta recap. We back.
You can take that so many ways.
Yes, but we got to go back. Last week we discussed the New Orleans escape from the New Orleans County Parish jail of convicted felons. We are down to only 2 left. I think 10 got out. We down to 2. Before last week checked, we was at the 4 or 5 had been caught. Now we are down to 2 left.
And my nigga got caught with the crazy eyes.
Hold on, we go play the update here from. Hold on, if I get this right. Hold on.
Inmates on the run captured in Southeast Texas. 2 fugitives who escaped from a New Orleans jail last week were taken into custody in Huntsville. ABC's Andrew Dimbert has the latest on the search for the 2 prisoners still on the run.
This morning, investigators recaptured more inmates who escaped from this New Orleans detention facility this month, finding 2 in Texas yesterday and 1 in Baton Rouge.
It is very possible that as you catch more people that have escaped, that they may well have information about potentially where the other escapees might be.
8 of the 10 inmates who escaped May 16th are now back in custody. Many have faced murder charges and were labeled high-risk offenders. Authorities say they crawled through a hole behind a toilet, reportedly using electric hair trimmers to cut through the cell wall. At least 9 people have been arrested for allegedly helping them, including a jail maintenance worker accused of shutting off water to the toilet, another inmate accused of providing a blanket to help them climb over razor wire, and family members and friends accused of giving them rides, food, and money. With 2 men still on the run, each previously charged with second-degree murder, law enforcement remains on high alert.
People still need to be cautious, because are those 2 someplace in New Orleans? They might be. I understand that the most recent captures were in Texas. That's several hours away from New Orleans.
Meanwhile, in Arkansas, a former law enforcement officer serving decades behind bars has escaped from a high-security prison. Grant Hardin once served as a police chief in a small town nearby. He admitted in 2016 to killing a town water department employee. DNA later linked Hardin to a separate rape case. Authorities say the 56-year-old was seen here, disguising himself in a law enforcement uniform Sunday, slipping past prison security, pushing a cart.
There's no type of uniform like that. And so that's one of the things we're looking into is where exactly did that come from?
Andrew Dimbert, ABC News, New York.
Plot fucking twist, yo.
Yo, hold on.
Wait a second.
He was a former police officer. He know what it looked. He probably made that in his cell. Because they said we don't even have nothing to look like that. But if he made something in his cell, kind of swapped it together on a camera, it looks fine if you just looking and glancing, and he walked right up out that hole.
And
all right, we down to 2, Dom.
Yo,
Go ahead.
this is crazy. Like but here's the thing. This is what we talk about: stupid criminals. Jay Leno used to have this segment called, stupid criminals or like dumb criminals or something. Because half of y'all, like they caught somebody, what was it, Sunday outside of Jimmy Jam's, just sitting on a bench. So it's like you wanted to get caught.
Yeah, maybe he got tired. He hungry. Everybody's not sitting ready.
This is what I'm saying. Like you did not have a plan.
No.
You didn't have, none of y'all had this plan except for it seemed like the two that is still out. And like my home, he not my homeboy, but the guy, I was like, oh, he might be one of the last ones with the, Jermaine. He at least he was out of state. Not saying that's great, but you tried. Cause like if they were in, he said they were saying, so is there, I'm guessing he said they was in Texas.
Yeah, southeast Texas. So they got about.
But then it was weird because the photo said Huntsville. So I'm guessing there's a Huntsville, Texas.
There's a Huntsville, Texas. That's in southeast Texas, East Texas.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that means y'all was headed toward the border. I think they might have been headed toward the border.
Yeah, if you're going southeast Texas, Huntsville, Texas is. Let's see where this is.
I'm looking on the map.
I know it's like that far from Houston.
Yeah, it's not far from Houston.
Yeah, it's north.
They was headed to the border based on what like the position of this.
Yeah,
and they probably cut through.
No, he wasn't.
Other dude in Baton Rouge.
No, he wasn't, because if he was, so if you're coming from New Orleans, Baton Rouge area, and you're on the 10, you go straight to Houston. Why are you going north up to Huntsville?
It's a smaller town, so you probably thought nobody would probably really know you.
Yeah, but I'm saying if you're trying to get to the border, I'm still trying to go. I should have got caught moving more south.
But yeah, but like I said, but they might not have. That's if they was with that guy. Because where Baton Rouge is, like you said, if they took the 10, but they could have went to. I'm seeing where New Orleans is. Somebody could have. They might have knew somebody there. But because it's like Houston, and then it's like the Woodlands. So I know the Woodlands is a suburb of Houston. Yeah, and then this is it's like the freeway, the 45 that take you there will also take you to Huntsville. So they probably got off on some small side road, and it was gonna come down. And then from there, probably end up stay along the border, and then slide across to Mexico. That's what I'm thinking. Because
were those two brothers that got caught in Houston, they were together? I mean, that was in Huntsville, they got caught together?
Yeah, I'm guessing so.
So one of them knew somebody.
The guy but see, the guy that I picked as one of the last people, he should have cut them dreads off. We said that he didn't.
I thought he did. I thought he was gonna do that. He should have done that.
That's why I said without a plan. A man without a plan is dangerous, as you see, and not in a good way.
And finna get more time on top of it too.
Yep.
But so it's crazy that we have the crazy dude that has been putting his hands on women and all that stuff, and the other dude that was like a big time crime boss in New Orleans that allegedly took out the people that did something to his grandmother.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I mean, this is
one's a villain. One could potentially be looked at as a ghetto hero. But they're gonna both get locked up though.
Yeah, I mean, but at this part, if he's off grid, the way that I know somebody said he looked like a stud. Yeah, but I almost kind of play into it. I'm almost kind of play into it because, and I'm not saying this is not. I'm not condoning any sort of murder or anything, but I would almost go and get a bra and put some socks up in there and be moving about, and because they would think, and then they be like, "Oh no, that's a woman," you know. Put a little extra on the bottom because you know the studs be thick.
Studs be thick.
They be thick. They be having the titties and the ass. So I would kind of play into it.
Yeah, I'm trying to look at this article now from the Washington Times.
And then, but also, it's like they're saying that they have family members helping them out, giving them food, money, clothes, and all this stuff. What if somebody did that because they were fighting for their life?
What do you mean?
Like, you know, I gave you this because this nigga, you know, somehow had a weapon and they had a gun to my head, and it was like either I die or I give you food. I'm giving you some food and some money.
Oh, for the people that had helped them out?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's 6 of them that they accusing right now, including a 21-year-old woman that says charged as a principal to aggravated escape. They joined Sterling Williams in New York. That's the dude, that New Orleans jail maintenance worker who was arrested last week and charged the principal to the escape. And Courtney Harris, 32, and Carvante Baptiste, who were also accused of last week of aiding the fugitives after the jailbreak. So,
like, I'd be interested to know more because I'm like, if somebody showed up to my door and it was like, or you showed up somewhere, I don't know. I'm like,
okay. It says, hold on. It says Massey allegedly threatened to stab Williams. So who is Williams? So they saying that the dude Antoine Massey, the one with the tattoo down his face, Massey allegedly threatened to stab Williams to force him to shut off water to a cell, aiding the escape by allowing the inmates to remove a toilet and sink unit in the cell unnoticed, according to Williams' affidavit. So
I'm like that. Yeah, listen.
Groves. Hold on. So Groves and Massey seem like they the ringleaders. It says Groves allegedly tried to take Williams' phone. An attorney for Williams told Associated Press that Williams is innocent and is being used by a tool by the escapees. Massey has escaped several times previously in Louisiana, according to local news reports. Once in 2007 from a New Orleans juvenile detention center, and again in 2019 from a Morehouse Parish detention center when he fled to Texas. He was recaptured both times.
So he definitely in Mexico.
Yeah, Massey and Groves, like they were the ringleaders of this.
Massey probably went to the beauty supply and he got makeup on to conceal them tattoos. And if he was smart, he would cut his hair too.
Yeah, and I might have to go to some hood tattoo removal, at least for my face.
Oh, look. Antoine Massey is one of the last 2 New Orleans inmates remaining. He's the alleged mastermind, like you said, behind the prison break. His father was best friends with Lil Wayne's dad, Rabbit. So,
but all the New Orleans people are real. It's just like St. Louis people, man. Like you 2 degrees separation from people.
Yep.
This is crazy, man.
This is hella crazy, my nigga. Like,
well, we will be checking back in next week. It looks like we're gonna be checking back in, just like we did with Ornisha Robinson until she came back to the States. And now they officially
back to the law.
Yeah. All right. So next up, your boy Travis Hunter, from the Jacksonville Jaguars, former Heisman Trophy winner and member of the Colorado Buffaloes, has married his longtime girlfriend and fiance this past weekend. Deion Sanders, Coach Prime, did not attend. Only attendee, I believe, was Deion Sanders Jr.
Okay.
Does that mean anything to you?
He sent his son in his place,
but his Shador wasn't there. But Shador's in train. Well, I guess Shador's excuse could be like, I'm in training camp.
Yeah.
But then it's the question to me is, he's supposed to be in training camp too. Why are you worried about getting married and you supposed to be in training camp too?
Oh no.
I mean, it's none of my business, none of this stuff. I hope this brother.
What if DOC never got into that car accident? What if Ice Cube didn't leave NWA? What if the game never leaves G Unit? What if Teddy Riley never moves to Virginia? What if we got that J. Cole and Kendrick album? What if the RZA would have never had that flood? How would the hip-hop world sound today? Welcome to Hip Hop What Is, the podcast where we dive into the biggest what could have beens in hip-hop history. From iconic album delays to game-changing partnerships that never happened. We reimagine the culture we love and explore its alternative paths. And you are now at Hip Hop What Is.
Things be happy and stuff. It's just maybe it's just me as my older age and my spidey senses are tingling about like this don't feel right. You know, like you getting married at 22, 23, right out of college, no problem with that. But it's like
I don't think people should get married that young, but
I don't either. But I'm saying, but like, all right, that's his life. Let him choose it. But I'm saying, I would think if I'm are you at? And let me ask you this question because let me not speak for a lady. If your man is just got drafted, supposed to be in training camp, would you be trying to organize a way to have him get married and he just got the job and got drafted?
Sound like she's playing the long game to me, so that's why she's trying to rush it all. And I don't think he has a prenup.
That's allegedly. I don't know.
I listen, young man. I don't know you from night and day, but all this shucking and jiving you doing, we've seen this. Is a tale as old as time. Beauty and the Beast.
Damn.
You need
Beauty and the
to.
Beast. Why you gotta say it like that?
Because that's where the line "tale as old as time."
Oh, okay. Okay, my bad. I thought he was going somewhere else with it.
But Beauty and the Beast.
Don't do this. Don't do this.
But you know, I hope you are smart. I hope that your financial advisors, your attorneys have advised you appropriately, accordingly, because sometimes these things just don't work out.
Yeah, and that's why I don't hold them.
And getting a prenup agreement does not mean that you are expecting divorce. They might be together forever, but in the event that you're not, you are protected. I know they've been together since I guess he was in high school. I think she's a little older than him. Yeah, sorry.
She's a year older than him.
Okay, so. You still got to be smart about things. I think that's with anybody. And there is also the option, you know, post-nups, all these different things. Protect yourself. Because if it's not anything that we learned from...
But at the same time, just to cut them some bait, man, maybe, you know, people talk about all the different things she'd be distracted. What if him having this lady has kept him not distracted by the other random things a regular college football player would be caught up in?
College football and the NFL are two different worlds.
Right, but I'm talking about at that point, maybe he was able to focus because he did just have
absolutely. And I'm a person, I advocate for strong partnerships. You know, I think that, and I know that marriage isn't for everybody, but I know a lot of people, a lot of men that have spoken about, like even recently as 2 Chainz talking about why it was important for him to get married. He has this strong woman. He loves her. Where she, you know, how she supports him and all these different things. So I think that that's important. And I'm not saying this young lady can't be that or isn't that to him. I am just saying, based on what we've seen with these athletes and these women, everybody not LeBron and Savannah, and not saying they stuff is perfect either.
Right.
But you know what I'm saying? And so he has yet to really fully step into his role as a football player. You know, being on the road, encountering groupies, different things. And not saying everybody is weak. We love a strong, sexually, what do we call those people that are strong sexually? We will say, it's a word for it. someone that is firm and sex like that.
Sex positive.
Well, sex positive is like, allowing people to be free, but somebody that's sexually disciplined.
Okay,
that's what I'm trying to say. Disciplined. And not saying that that's not him, but he's also so young. Look at Anthony Edwards, and not saying that they're the same.
Oh no, they're different.
They definitely different. But I'm just saying, like, this young man, be smart. Be smart. That's all.
Yeah, I wish the best for them, man. I mean,
yeah, I'm like,
any marriage, 50% of marriage is messed up anyway.
So I hope it work out for him.
Yeah, 50% of marriages are done for anyway. So I can't.
Oh my God.
Whatever. I wish the best to him. So this is not a surviving Diddy segment, everybody. But we did want to discuss Kid Cudi being called a snitch by certain people. Make sure you tune in to Surviving Diddy on Wednesdays live on YouTube. You check in with us on there, either on the SLC Network or St. Angela's channel. Either one is both simulcast. So make sure you like in there. We're gonna be doing Surviving Diddy, talking about the court case, but we're not talking about that here. We're talking about Young Thug saying Kid Cudi snitch, and also the great Kanye West, who said this. I'm gonna put this just to get Dom, if you haven't seen it. I wish Cudi hadn't testified against Puff. We need to not be locked in white systems, praying for Puff and his family. There we go. And
people don't understand how subpoena goes.
Like Cudi's a rap.
Yeah, first of all, to me, like what I know of Cudi, he's not a street nigga. Ain't never have been, never will be. So that code is, y'all can't hold him to that standard. Number one, y'all don't understand how subpoenas work. I cannot lie. We saw what happens when you lie under oath and withhold information. Lil' Kim went to jail.
Hey, look, people forget about Kim going to jail, dog.
People forget about that. Them niggas ratted everything out. Nobody be saying nothing else about Junior Mafia. But y'all won't Kid Cudi's not a fucking rat. And that's why, so we've said this time and time again, street code, and two places, dead and jail. If you don't get out that game, it's the same thing. Like Cudi, you literally like Young Thug, you literally got off on a contingency of them pretty much fucking up that case. I knew that he wasn't going. How many times they swapped that fucking judge? Yep. And y'all might have even had niggas niggas on the outside pressing these judges, running up in their homes, because we've seen that happen in real life with Nancy Pelosi. You know how that man ran up in her house and killed her husband, if I'm not mistaken.
No, hit him upside the head with a hammer.
Oh yeah, well, pretty much killed him.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, who knows what was really happening in that case? That case was so obstructed. So you literally, it wasn't like, and I'm not saying he didn't have a great lawyer, because you clearly was able to finesse, some stuff based on even them not even presenting him. Like, it was all fucked up. So that's how you out. And your dumb ass, 10 years where you can't go to Atlanta, and your ass has already been caught up in shit where it's like they caught you in Atlanta or somewhere along those lines or whatever, or a county of it. Ain't nobody no rat. This nigga blew up my fucking car.
Hey, people forget that part, man. That
this nigga ran up in my house, poisoned my dog. And like I said, y'all be living and dying by a code that never protects y'all. And if it protects you, it's only for a little bit.
And it's not for civilians. It's only for people that are practicing criminal organizations, or two criminals working together, or other criminals. Not if like a young lady on the street or older woman in a neighborhood, if they tell they ain't no snitch, you shouldn't have been doing it for an old lady.
You shouldn't have been blowing up nobody's car because somebody was allegedly fucking on your girl. What sense does that make? Nigga, breakups happen.
I mean, you know, Diddy don't believe in breakups, obviously.
Yeah. You see where Kim is.
Yeah, I mean, and Kim never technically broke up with him. Because he had those babies. They're 18 now, right?
Mm-hmm. And that other girl is a year old, only like several months older than me. I think they all like the same age.
Yeah, yeah. And then he's got a younger one, right?
Yeah, that little girl, but
It's
I
like
think
2
Kim
or
was
3 or
already.
something, right?
Yeah, I think Kim had already passed by that time.
Right, but I'm talking about. But he had a baby. He had the twins while he was with Cassie.
No, he had the twins while he was. When he had the twins, he had messed with the other girl's mom, Aunt Kim. He wasn't with he wasn't with I don't think he was with
Cassie yet.
He wasn't with her yet because the twins are, like you said, 18.
But because you remember, was it you talking about that it's hard, or was somebody else telling me it's hard to find that Diddy cover on Essence magazine now?
Absolutely, that was me.
Yeah, okay. It's like it doesn't exist.
It's like it never happened.
Like, let me see it.
And it's like you can kind of find, but you can't find that article, because in that article, I specifically remember him saying how Kim Porter's daddy had confronted him on some, you keep getting her pregnant. She got these kids by you, but you won't marry my daughter. And he was making up this excuse as to why he couldn't marry Kim. But that was the love of your life. Boy, fuck you.
Wow. What's crazy is I'm looking at this article from December 6, 2020. Diddy and the daughters grace the cover of Essence as he opens up by loving and losing Kim Porter.
The other cover don't pop up?
I just went through that one. Then the other one pops up, and so when you pop and you look at the picture of it, it goes straight to that other article, the 2020 article.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And I know some places, because I know there was this big deal about people being mad how MTV, I think it was like MTV or MTV News, had deleted like all these articles, like the entire like history, like the articles and all this stuff that was published on the internet. And so, you know, other like people that have contributed were really upset about it. And I was like, you don't need, like, it's the internet. Like you're just buying more storage or whatever, or space to hold whatever this information is, or transfer it to like the Smithsonian, you know, like how they say our tweets never really officially delete.
Mm-hmm.
So like you said, I said, hey, you can see the cover, you can't pull up that article.
Yeah, but Kid Cudi, man, like that. Yeah,
I don't think that it is just like, it's so weird. And it's just like, why do our people want our people to suffer so much?
It's a weird old thing, man. But it's a thing of, you know, we the street code, you know, and that's all. It's like it's all we got. Like we fucking the mafia or some shit. Like we practice Emerta or something along those lines. It's silly. All right, Dom, let's jump into this. Tribe in Brazil is suing a lot of different people because they just got the internet because of Elon Musk. So here we go.
Reporting on the arrival of high-speed Starlink internet in remote indigenous villages in the Amazon rainforest. Myself and our photographer, Victor Moriyama, we ended up hiking in total about 50 miles in order to reach villages of the Marubo people, which are an indigenous tribe that has lived for hundreds of years, if not longer, in one of the most isolated stretches of the Amazon rainforest. One of the striking things for me was to see this contrast between this old traditional way of life that the Marubos have had for many, many, many years, and this very new way of life that looks far more familiar to me, frankly. And that meant, you know, seeing people hunched over on their phones, typing away, sending voice notes, watching, video clips. I saw two very young boys just, swiping through video after video of Neymar Jr. The Marubo are not a fully isolated tribe. Many of the Marubo actually already had smartphones, and then they were using them to communicate when they were in the city or to take photos in the forest. The Starlink antennas, they satellite internet service from SpaceX, the private space company owned by Elon Musk, arrived in the Marubo villages in September 2023. Right away, the internet was a huge hit and people were on it all the time, so much that it became a problem for the hunting and the farming that are necessary for their way of life. And so what the Marubo leaders did is nowadays, in almost all of the villages, the internet is only on for several hours in the morning and several hours in the evening, and then all day Sunday.
Podcast, we definitely discuss healing. We discuss aspects of psychology. We discuss, like, you know, you becoming the best you, mental wellness,
for sure,
health,
femininity, parenthood, dating,
definitely
as
dating,
single parents. And it's from a lens of two psychologists, you know.
Yeah.
So,
but also two people who grew up like with both parents, married parents, and then, like, you all know that Chloe and I are the youngest of our crews, like her siblings and my siblings. So yeah, so it's from that perspective.
Yeah, looking at life through that lens.
Yeah.
So you're gonna get a whole lot of things from us. From us being women, going through life as parents, and all of these awesome attributes. But yes, womanology, the study of women.
The study of women.
Marubo people saw all of the many benefits that the internet brought for them, and that included the ability to call for help in a medical emergency, the ability to communicate between different villages, inform themselves better about what's going on in the world. But at the same time, I saw the Marubo people dealing with misinformation and scams, to pornography, to addictive social networks, to violent video games. The big difference here is that most of the world has had literally decades to kind of grapple with and debate what the internet means for society. And the Marubo people are dealing with all of this all at once. Leaders in the tribe also said that the more and more they're seeing the young people be on the internet, the more and more interest naturally there is about the outside world, and more interest about leaving the forest. And that is worrisome for the kind of elders in the tribe who are worried about the death of the culture and the traditions and the customs of the Marubo people in these remote villages.
All right, Dom, what you got?
So I definitely understand the concern, because absolutely, like, it is one of those things where you think about it from the perspective of how somebody is slowly, as people start to age and all that stuff, and seeing what the other world looks like. Now, I remember there's like a season of 90 Day Fiance, and somebody is dating somebody in like one of these villages that takes like 2 days to get to them. Yeah. And but I think the issue is now this tribe is suing.
They're suing the New York Times from this actual article.
Yeah, the New York Times, because of the following. It says the Marubo tribe in Brazil is suing the New York Times, TMZ, and Yahoo for about $180 million, claiming defamatory reporting, falsely portraying them as becoming addicted to adult content after gaining internet access through Elon Musk's Starlink system. The tribe argues the reports damaged their reputation, misrepresented their culture, and harmed ongoing educational and health projects. Although the New York Times later published a clarification, the tribe says the damage was already done. Now, what you bet? How now? This sounds.
You know who did it? Was another lawyer that was like, "Hey," and emailed them because they just got internet.
Say these niggas got the internet now. It's like somebody that told him, like, "Hey, y'all know this is out here about y'all."
Not even just that, you know how much money y'all can make. Y'all want to get up out of here? Don't y'all want to experience some of the stuff y'all watching on your thing? Let's sue them and get money, and y'all can leave here. You can go see Neymar Jr. in person.
Well, yeah, that's what I was gonna say, so they can see Neymar in person. Yeah. But it's just unfortunate because, like, I think it's always the beauty in having people that are so we see how the internet has been a beautiful thing, but it's also has been like so corrupt in ways that are unimaginable to a tribe like this because it's so fresh to them. It's like that new baby that's like wants to get into everything, and you gotta put the damn childproof, you know, everything just because of that.
One of the things.
And like they immediately went to like the misinformation, them having access to porn. Now y'all are wondering if you know what will happen next to your tribe.
But my thing is like, how did you even know you could get to porn though?
That's what I'm saying. But like they said, misinformation. So y'all only have it accessible. Like, I mean, I know they're not jacking off in public or anything like that, but you know what I mean? Like it's just this weird thing. And you think about it from the perspective of I know this sounds crazy, but I'm thinking of, like they said, like people wanting to leave and then abandoning this space, this land. And then, you know, we understand how important land is to so many people. And we've talked about different things that have harmed the Amazon already, like different fires and how they've tried to come through and destroy, you know, like the Amazon in so many different ways. And I'm thinking about it from the perspective of, you know, AI advancing so rapidly and them needing more space to have these generator stations and all this stuff to be able to handle AI, and then so much water. So I'm thinking about it from that, like them trying to lure these people out into other parts of Brazil, and you know, where there is some sort of life. So this land no longer exists, by, you know, is held by those people.
Yeah, this is the
I'm
internet.
definitely gonna follow this because like we know how defamation and libel cases is just kind of so difficult to prove in court.
I mean, this is worse than, I would say worse. This is a very good case study for how bad the internet can corrupt you overall. Because think about like even how people that get out of jail even have a hard time adapting to a smartphone, and they at least have no understand the concept of technology, period, on a just general basis. Even if they did 20, 30 years, they understand technology on a general. This group of people don't even have this technology in general.
Yeah, and like they said, they had smartphones.
Yeah.
Where they would go into town, you know, like the city and stuff, and you know, and they would probably only go to the city to re-up on like supplies or things like that. Which makes sense how somebody had a profile and was dating somebody like on 90 Day Fiance, like, you know, in America. So it makes sense. But like you said, I'm interested in seeing how this will play out, just because like people were shocked, you know, when we talked about what happened with Cardi, you know, her winning that case against Tasha K, because it's just kind of unheard of. Because people tend to kind of settle or just throw it out because it starts to cost too much, because trying to prove malice, which I guess Tasha K was like, in a sense, was malicious. They was able to prove it.
Yeah.
And and it's crazy how she was standing 10 toes down, and all she had to do was apologize.
It was an
and
easy
retract that statement. But like I said, y'all love to live and die by the street code, and you not backpedaling. And I'm like, we know that lady didn't help you, ain't giving you enough money to cover that.
Oh, we know that's not. Come on, man. Yeah, that's that's neither here nor there, as they say.
Yeah.
All right, our last story tonight. All right, this one is found destination gone to hell, I guess, per se. Hold on.
Inmates on the run.
Wrong one. Hold on. I got a lot of stories on here. Hold on. There we go. Well, this is how it looked. This one was final destination film in Argentina. While she was watching Final Destination Bloodlines. This is how it looks. This is her family. I guess she survived.
Well, she survived. She listened to the noise for part of the movie's sound effect. But ultimately, it was the roof collapse there.
Oh, so I mean, look, I don't know how these lawsuits are gonna go. They go and in Argentina. But this was a open and shut case, as they say, open and shut case, Roger, on this one.
Just pay her.
Look, it's gonna be how much you don't want, she won't. This ain't a situation of like, oh, we think we can get off. No, y'all just gonna need to negotiate how much.
Y'all infrastructure was fucked up, and it probably been fucked up, and y'all been ignoring it, and now you gotta pay even more. That's how it always be.
For a ceiling to collapse in a movie theater, that means that you ain't did no roof. Roofs are 25 to 40 years old. That roof 50 years old.
Yep.
Yeah, that's wild. Think about it, you're in the movie watching Final Destination, and you get a thing. Would you think that you're in the middle of a Final Destination yourself? Like,
I think we are traumatized enough from them damn logs, okay? And I think I would say that's that was a cool thing about the rollout, like the promotion behind this film, like seeing trucks ride around with them logs, promoting the movie.
Mm-hmm.
I think about the one scene where the kid won like the lottery, and his ring fell down a drain, and then somehow like he slipped or something. He was trying to get that ring, and then he cut on, or the garbage disposal came on or something. I think about that. I just be like, oh, y'all. It's
those comedy of errors with those Final Destination movies. You never know what the person's how they're gonna,
Yeah.
die.
And I know, and I do kind of want to see it, just because I know that it was Candyman's like Tony Todd.
Yeah, his last film before he passed away. He was sick on the set too.
Yeah, and you could tell.
Yeah,
but you know what I was thinking of, because some of them just got so outrageous where it just was like, okay, this is y'all just making movies to make movies. You know what? I wonder what happened to like Urban Legend. Like that first Urban Legend was so good. And I think there was a second one after that, if I'm not mistaken. But those were pretty solid. Like sometimes, and people they do they have that crazy TV show that was like 100 Ways to Die.
Mm-hmm.
Because like if you really think about it, it was like, so you remember one of the girls from Brownstone, how she freakishly died like that. It was like some weird Final Destination stuff. Because it was like a glass broke, like she might have slipped or something, and the glass like pierced her or something, and she like bled out. It was like something crazy like that with one of the girls from Brownstone.
So hold on, that was a real thing. Yeah. She slipped in the shower. No, did she slip in the shower?
No, she wasn't in the shower.
She just slipped in general and cut her throat.
Yeah.
And that crazy thing is that her husband came on and found her, and they like hoped what you didn't did. Like, I'm sure there's no way they were like, her husband must have pushed her into this thing and cut her.
Mm-hmm.
And they come to find out that after they went to the coroner and stuff, like, no, she had been dead for like 3 hours before he even came home.
Yep.
But think about how fucked up that is. Like, yo, that's got to be a worse nightmare. If someone dying like that, and you coming home and finding them, and it's in a unorthodox way that only someone.
Because you're like, did somebody break in here? Like, what's going on?
And then you're being looked at. You finna be charged. And you sitting there like, yo, hold on, I'm finna be charged?
Yeah.
I just got home from work at 5 or 5:30, whatever. But that was sad in general, just because, like, dang, like, that's just, that literally was a Final Destination. The dude from shout out to the dude that was it Antoine Yellen, the actor that was in the new Star Wars that they did, that he had his car fall on him while he was working on it. He played Scotty. I think he played Anton. I think he played Anton Yelchin. He played it wasn't Scotty. Was it Scotty he played? In the new Star Wars films, not Star Wars, Star Trek. I'm sorry. He played. Oh snap! Hold on, come on now.
Yeah, so it's traumatic asphyxia.
Yeah, he played Chekhov in there. Chekhov. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but his car fell on him.
At that weird age of 27 that they always talk about out here. Because they always say something with that age. Because you think about Amy Winehouse, it was like
The I Only Listen to 90s Music podcast is a show for 80s babies who were 90s kids. If you were a No Limit soldier, then this is your show. If you believe that Cash Money is not an army but was a Navy, this is the show for you. If you and your friends ever tried to sing a song written by Escape, In Vogue, Shy, or Boyz II Men at a talent show during middle school, this is your show. The I Only Listen to 90s Music podcast is a bunch of 80s babies talking about all the songs and things that we loved when we were kids and teenagers. So if you went to the skating rink and you were at a lock-in, this is the show for you. If you think that Tevin Campbell was the original Prince of R&B, this is the show for you. If you don't understand the conflict between Monica and Brandy, but you're kind of on Monica's side and understand why Brandy got punched, this is the show for you. Make sure that you tune in, subscribe, click the little subscribe link. We're here. We're going to talk about all things 90s music. This is the show for you.
who else? Was it Biggie and Tupac at that age?
Ooh, Lord. Oh, no, Dom. Okay, this is even worse than I thought. I thought he was working on his car and it fell on him. He was pinned against his Jeep Grand Cherokee in a brick pillar gate posted out outside his house in Studio City, Los Angeles. As Yechelin apparently got out of his car and went back to check his locked gate for mail, the vehicle rolled back down his driveway, which is at a steep incline, and trapped him against the pillar and the security fence. He was pronounced dead at the scene. So he's supposed to have been in his rehearsal. They didn't come check to him for him till 1:10 at night.
And then they said he was crushed and lingered alive for some time.
It had to be for a while, because I'm thinking if you somebody would have got you there, you would have been all right. But like your organs are sitting there crushed for hours.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's a horrible way to go, boy.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yep. Damn. Yeah. I mean, it's weird. Like, I think about other friends, like, having a friend kind of die one of those like freakish ways several years ago. And I was just like, what the hell, was, what was going on. So it's definitely wild. So yeah. Now pay that lady. I'm glad she survived. Mm-hmm. And nobody else was, really injured. But like I said, that sounded like y'all hadn't checked anything and y'all was just doing like, oh, we just don't keep, how people put band-aids on stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And thinking at some point I'll do it later, and then like next thing you know, the roof collapsed. Yep. Damn.
Yeah,
damn.
But it's so many random ones like that, man. Like I said, that's that Brownstone one, that Tony Yelchin one is the ones. Hey man, hit us up in the comments. Let us know if y'all heard.
If y'all have any crazy stories,
some Final Destination stories, hit us up. Let us know.
Yeah.
All right, Dom. Where can people hit you up at?
Y'all can hit me up on Instagram. I don't say Snapchat, and I don't have that.
It's so much not our age no more.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I be hearing they be making. I might have to download that again and see what it's talking about. But like I said, I deleted that 2 years ago off my phone at a Beyonce concert. Never looked back. I needed storage. But yeah, Instagram, YouTube. We got just recorded another episode. I actually ran into Dave, so I got to hit him up to get him on the pod to talk about his, we're 2 years removed from his iconic Cozy joint that is on the Renaissance B album by Beyonce, and just talking about the ins and outs of that, what it was like to work with her, and, his, working in the industry, what that is like. So definitely talking about that. Have an episode coming out with, two of my comedian friends, Keisha E and Donald George. And Keisha E takes us on this roller coaster of a Keisha just can't win when it comes to entertaining people. One of her homegirls broke her coffee table, and then another time she had people over. Somebody pooped on her floor. So y'all gonna get that story along with a host of other things in this episode. Is so funny. So that'll be out next Monday, and that's all for me at the moment.
All right, well, man, thank y'all as always. We appreciate y'all, and we'll be back soon. Peace.